This tutorial will teach you how to quickly set up a Kizoa online presentation to mimic PowerPoint and to share with your students easily over the internet. When you create your Kizoa account, you're going to get the option to see a dashboard like this. It's not really intuitive how to begin, so I highly recommend, if you are interested in creating a presentation, by starting with the slideshow maker icon. Now, if you make slideshows, they're going to be available in my slideshows. I've been playing with one, so that's why that one is there. But for now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to create a new one. Now, when you go to create a new slideshow, you're going to get the option to pick a template or from scratch. The templates are really more geared towards photo slideshows. If you were to have like a bunch of photos you want to share, like a photo album, that is kind of Kizoa's main focus. So I recommend starting from scratch. Once you start from scratch, it's going to recommend to you that you select photos on your computer. You can do that, of course, but you do not have to do that to set this up. The best way to start is to look down at the bottom, and you have this little camera roll with 3 slides already laid out for you. They start you with 3, and the T's are for transitions between the slides. We're going to begin by simply picking a background. Now that's the option over here on the left, and I like to keep it kind of simple, so we'll go with a color background, and I will select bright lime. And when you want to pick it, you just take it and drag it down to the first slide. That will be green. And, well, okay, I guess we'll use some variety. We'll do yellow for the second and orange for the third. Now, if you want to add a 4th slide, all you need to do is add the plus sign here, and you instantly will have a 4th slide, and we'll make that one purple. So now that I have my slide set up, I have a kind of a baseline to start to create my slideshow. So I'll start by clicking on the first slide. It does go left to right. That's how you want to look at it. Click on that, and it pops up, and I get a little bit more options. Now, you're going to have the add text, add animation, add effects, add music, or add a website URL. So if you want to import some other websites you want to use, you certainly have that option. It also has a slide duration. You can increase or decrease the amount of time the slide is going to show. So I want it to last 6, 7, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. You can do that. You can even test the slide to see what it'll look like before you make any final decisions. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add text to it. Now, since they want you to pay for this, they have a free side and a premium side. The free side is, pretty nice, and it gives you a little bit of an idea what it does. So I'm going to drag the vertical flip, one of my personal favorites, and that's what it's going to look like. It gives me a chance to say my sample presentation, and I can see then what it's going to do right off the bat. I can change the colors of the text. I can change the font that I'm using. But if I like what I'm seeing, move it up a little bit, move it up a little bit, move that much. This is when I move it all. We go to validate, and that means we're keeping it. I could add some animations. These are pretty wild. For example, some free ones. Valentine's Day themes. If you don't want the Valentine's Day theme, because picking it for this time of year, they have a whole selection of other things you can select, from school themes to wedding themes to Father's Day themes, spring themes, you name it, that's the option. Now, obviously, I can go back to my slide this way, or I can also just double click, and there we go. Adding effects, one of my personal favorites is the fireworks. You can drag that into the slide as well. And now it's getting kind of an ongoing look at what this is. Looking pretty good. I'll validate it, and it's going to stay. If I'm done with this, I'm going to validate the entire slide, and I'm ready to move on. Now, one thing you might want to add is transitions. If I want to go from the green slide to the yellow slide, I can simply go up to the top here, pick transitions, and decide which one I want. This one looks interesting, so I'll drag it right into the T. And now I'm ready for my yellow slide. Yellow slide, same thing. I'm going to go back to text. And I could go with this in normal display, if you want anything fancy. Normal display is going to put your text right where you want it. So this is how to type normal text. And of course you can change the size. That was kind of large. Make it smaller. And that's where you can put just normal text into a slide. Maybe this one will let me move it up. There we go. It wouldn't let me move the first one since that was a rotating animation. I'll validate it. And let's say I want to keep the slide pretty simple. I'm going to leave it like that. And I'll validate it. Now if I want to see how my slideshow is going, I can just go over here and click play slideshow. And there we go. Should be about 5 seconds and it'll transition. Here's my transition and there's my yellow slide. So you can go and create as many slides as you want. Obviously you have the option to save our slideshow. And now I'll save it. I can email it. So again, we're sharing the link. You can upload it to Facebook. You can actually download it. So if you wanted to have it on the computer, so you actually only need an internet connection after you've created your Kizoa presentation. So there you have it. There's a brief tutorial on how to set up your Kizoa. It's not the easiest interface to use, but once you spend a few minutes with it, it becomes much more clear.